Welcome to Sports Bios, the podcast where we delve into the fascinating lives of athletic legends, stripping away the veneer of myth and revealing the complex, often tumultuous journeys that have defined their careers. Today, we embark on a captivating exploration of Jack Johnson's remarkable story, a trailblazer in every sense of the word, whose impact on the world of boxing extends far beyond his impressive record in the ring. As we immerse ourselves in Johnson's early life, we find a young boy growing up in a post-Civil War era where racial tensions and social inequality were rampant, casting shadows over the streets of Galveston, Texas. Born on March 34, 1878, Johnson would navigate this challenging landscape with a resilience that was both inspiring and necessary for survival. His parents, Henry and Tina Johnson, both former slaves, instilled in him a strong sense of determination and an unyielding spirit, essential qualities that would serve as the bedrock upon which he would build his future. Galveston, with its rich cultural heritage and complex history, played a significant role in shaping Johnson's worldview. The city, a melting pot of African-American, European, and Hispanic influences, offered a unique blend of cultures that would later contribute to Johnson's cosmopolitan outlook. However, it was also a place where the harsh realities of racial segregation and violence were ever present, forcing Johnson from an early age to confront the stark inequalities of his time. Johnson's childhood was marked by hardship and struggle, with his family facing poverty and racism on a daily basis. Despite these challenges, he found solace in the local dock workers' community, where he learned to box as a means of self-defense. This early introduction to the sport would prove pivotal, as Johnson began to develop the skills that would eventually propel him to international fame. The docks, bustling with activity and filled with men from all walks of life, became a second home for Johnson, teaching him not only how to fight, but also how to navigate the complexities of a multicultural world. Growing up in a predominantly African-American neighborhood, he was exposed to the harsh realities of racial segregation and violence, experiences that would later inform his political stance and personal conduct. The 1890s, with their violent lynchings and Jim Crow laws, were a particularly tumultuous time for Black Americans, and Johnson's experiences during this period would have a profound impact on his future, molding him into a fiercely independent individual with an unwavering commitment to challenging the status quo. One of the most significant influences on Johnson's early life was his mother, Tina, a former slave who had endured unimaginable hardship. She imparted to her son a deep understanding of the importance of perseverance and self-reliance. Her guidance, coupled with the support of his community, helped Johnson develop a strong sense of identity and purpose, which would serve as the foundation for his future success. Tina's story, one of survival and resilience in the face of overwhelming adversity, instilled in Johnson a profound respect for the strength of African-American women and a keen awareness of the historical injustices faced by his community. As we navigate the complexities of Johnson's early years, it becomes evident that his journey was far from linear. With each challenge and setback, he grew more determined to succeed, fueled by an unyielding desire to prove himself in a world that often seemed determined to hold him back. The historical context of his time, marked by racial unrest and social upheaval, only added to the sense of urgency and purpose that defined his early life. Johnson's was a generation caught between the brutal legacy of slavery and the uncertain promise of freedom, and it was within this crucible that he forged his ambitions and his unshakable resolve. The late 1800s were a transformative period for America, with the country struggling to come to terms with its own identity and values. For Johnson, growing up in this era meant navigating a complex web of social norms and expectations, all while striving to forge his own path. His experiences during these formative years would ultimately shape him into a figure of controversy and acclaim, a man whose defiance of racial conventions both in and out of the ring would make him an icon of resistance against racism. The young boy from Galveston, with his quick wit, sharp intellect, and unyielding determination, was already beginning to forge a path that would take him to the pinnacle of success and ultimately into the annals of history. The city of Chicago, for instance, played a significant role in Johnson's life, serving as a hub for his business ventures and a source of support for his personal endeavors. His connections to prominent figures such as Booker T. Washington and W.E.B. Du Bois also highlight the extent to which Johnson was embedded within a wider network of African American intellectuals and activists who were working to challenge racial inequality and promote social change. One of the most striking aspects of Johnson's life is the way in which he navigated the treacherous landscape of racism and segregation that dominated American society during this period. As a black man in a world controlled by white privilege, Johnson faced countless obstacles and challenges, from the overt racism of his opponents and the media to the more subtle forms of prejudice that permeated every aspect of American life. And yet, despite these challenges, Johnson persevered, using his charisma, intelligence, and determination to carve out a space for himself in the world of sports and beyond. Johnson's experiences in the boxing ring provide a powerful metaphor for the struggles he faced outside of it. As a fighter, Johnson was known for his unorthodox style, which blended elements of traditional boxing with a more fluid, improvisational approach. This approach often caught his opponents off guard, as they struggled to adapt to Johnson's unpredictable movements and tactics. In much the same way, Johnson's approach to life outside of the ring was marked by a similar sense of adaptability and resilience. Whether he was navigating the complexities of racial politics or building a business empire from scratch, Johnson demonstrated an uncanny ability to think on his feet and adjust to changing circumstances. The year 1913, for example, saw Johnson embroiled in a highly publicized controversy surrounding his marriage to Lucille Cameron, with many calling for him to be prosecuted under the Mann Act, a federal law that prohibited the transportation of women across state lines for immoral purposes. This backlash was fueled by a toxic mix of racism and sexism, as many Americans saw Johnson's relationship with a white woman as a threat to traditional social norms. And yet, despite this opposition, Johnson refused to back down, using his platform to speak out against the injustices he faced and to advocate for greater freedom and equality for African Americans. Through it all, Johnson remained an enigmatic figure, a man of many contradictions who defied easy categorization. His life was marked by both triumph and tragedy, with moments of great joy and profound sorrow. And yet, despite these contradictions, Johnson's legacy continues to inspire and empower new generations of activists, artists, and athletes today. One of the most significant aspects of Johnson's legacy is the way in which he challenged traditional notions of masculinity and black identity. As a fighter, Johnson embodied a powerful ideal of male physicality, one that was rooted in strength, courage, and determination. And yet, at the same time, Johnson also subverted this ideal, using his platform to challenge traditional norms around gender and sexuality. His relationships with women, for example, were often highly publicized and scandalous, as he refused to conform to societal expectations around monogamy and fidelity. In this sense, Johnson's life serves as a powerful reminder of the complexities and nuances of human identity, highlighting the ways in which individuals can embody multiple contradictions and paradoxes. As we move forward in our exploration of Johnson's life and legacy, it becomes increasingly clear that his impact extends far beyond the realm of sports, to touch upon fundamental questions about identity, community, and social justice. His unwavering commitment to his own freedom and autonomy serves as a powerful example for us all, reminding us of the importance of standing up for what we believe in, even in the face of overwhelming opposition. Through his unapologetic stance on issues such as racism and inequality, Johnson played a significant role in shaping the cultural and social landscape of his time, leaving behind a legacy that continues to inspire and empower new generations of activists, artists, and athletes today. In examining the details of Johnson's life, we gain a deeper understanding of the ways in which his experiences reflect and refract the broader themes of American history during this period. The struggles he faced as an African-American man in a society dominated by white privilege and racism serve as a powerful reminder of the ongoing legacies of slavery and segregation, even as they underscore the resilience and determination of those who fought against these injustices. Through Johnson's story, we see the complex interplay between personal and historical factors that shaped his life and career, from the racial tensions of the early 20th century to the social and cultural changes that were sweeping across America during this period. His life serves as a powerful reminder of the importance of standing up for what we believe in, even in the face of overwhelming opposition, and of the need to challenge traditional norms and expectations around issues such as racism, sexism, and homophobia. Through his unwavering commitment to his own freedom and autonomy, Johnson provides a powerful example for us all, one that continues to inspire and empower new generations of activists, artists, and athletes today. As we delve into the later years of his remarkable journey, we find ourselves witness to a maelstrom of challenges and controversies that would have broken a lesser individual. And yet, Johnson persevered, his name becoming synonymous with courage, resilience, and determination in the face of overwhelming adversity. In 1946, the specter of racism and persecution once again reared its ugly head, as Johnson was arrested and charged with violating the Mann Act. This egregious example of institutionalized racism was a thinly veiled attempt to silence him, to punish him for his unwavering commitment to speaking truth to power. The charge, which prohibited the transportation of women across state lines for immoral purposes, was a farcical pretext, a desperate attempt to malign Johnson's character and undermine his influence. As he navigated this treacherous landscape, Johnson's health began to decline, his body weakened by the relentless barrage of attacks and injustices. Financial difficulties also took their toll, forcing him to sell many of his cherished possessions, a painful reminder of the transience of material wealth. And yet, even in the face of such adversity, Johnson remained resolute, his spirit unbroken. He continued to speak out against racism and injustice, using his platform to advocate for the rights of African Americans and other marginalized groups. As he reflected on his life, Johnson's words took on a profound sense of introspection, a deep understanding of the complexities and nuances that had defined his journey. The circumstances of Johnson's death in 1946 were nothing short of tragic, a car crash in Raleigh, North Carolina, that marked the end of an era for a man who had lived life to the fullest. The news of his passing sent shockwaves through the sporting world and beyond, a poignant reminder of the fragility of human existence. He was a true pioneer, a trailblazer who had broken down barriers and challenged racist stereotypes that had long been entrenched in American society. His impact extended far beyond the ring, influencing generations of athletes, artists, and activists who followed in his footsteps. His image has been invoked by everyone from Muhammad Ali to Jay-Z, a powerful symbol of resistance and defiance in the face of overwhelming oppression. But Johnson's legacy is not without its complexities, its nuances and contradictions. He was a rebel, a hero, and a symbol of hope for many, but he was also a flawed individual, prone to excesses and mistakes. His life was a messy tapestry of triumphs and failures, of moments of great courage and moments of profound weakness. As we seek to understand the intricacies of Johnson's legacy, we must confront the uncomfortable truths that surround his life and career. We must acknowledge the controversies and challenges that he faced, the injustices and inequalities that he fought against. We must also recognize the profound psychological toll that these struggles took on him, the mental and emotional scars that he carried with him throughout his life. In exploring the psychological dimensions of Johnson's story, we gain a deeper understanding of the complex interplay between his inner world and the external circumstances that shaped his life. We see a man who is driven by a fierce determination to succeed, to prove himself in a world that seemed determined to hold him back. We see a man who was haunted by the ghosts of his past, who struggled with the demons of racism and oppression that had been visited upon him. And yet, even in the face of such adversity, Johnson found a way to persevere, to transcend the limitations that had been imposed upon him. He found a way to channel his anger and frustration into a powerful force for change, to use his platform to speak out against injustice and to fight for the rights of those who had been marginalized and oppressed. That's all for today's Sports Bios. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, I'm Howard Closewell reminding you to keep shooting for your goals.